call me. Promise that you never be.
It's me, B Nicole, back with another VIDEO, and today I'm going to be telling a story about one of my biggest regrets in life. But before I get into the video, if you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the bell so you can get notified every single time I post, and let me know what you think of the video. And if you're not new, welcome back to my channel. So let's get into it. The biggest regret of my life is when my grandma passed away and I was not there. So a little backstory. My nana was my world. Like, she was my guardian angel on earth. Every time something was wrong, like, she stepped in. She helped my mom take care of me. Like, my nana was my everything, as she was to everyone. Like, we were all love. We call her nana. We all love her so much. So, we grew up with her around and everything like that. And I ended up moving to California, and so I didn't see my family a lot. When I would come home, I would visit. Then I moved to Georgia, and we ended up moving to Georgia back in 2015, no, 14. She was diagnosed with lung cancer. So the family like raised money for her to get all her treatments and stuff like that. And like me not knowing that like she was gonna pass away from it, like I don't want to say I didn't take it seriously, but I low key didn't take it seriously. Like I didn't come home to visit as much or anything like that. So she ended up beating cancer the first time. So we just thought everything was gonna be good, and so I still didn't come home to visit. So I'm like, okay, she good now. Like she beat cancer. So, my we came to Omaha January of 2015, and we came down for my oldest son's birthday. And I remember stopping to her house to see her or whatever, and she was like telling me how she was gonna come to the birthday party and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, cool, like this is gonna be so fun. So she didn't end up coming to the party, and I like low key felt some type of way, but it was whatever. So we ended up leaving Omaha, and I didn't have a chance to stop and say goodbye to her. So I remember like my mom and my cousins like always calling me and telling me how like the cancer came back, and this time she didn't want to do treatment no more because like the first time like chemo and everything took like a major toll on her. Like she was so tiny, and so she was like she didn't want to go through that no more. She didn't want she didn't want to put like all that on us or whatever. So she was just like, if it's in God's plan for her to go, then that's what's gonna happen. And she just trusted God. So I remember like always getting calls from my cousin. She like my like Nana not doing good, and I'm like, is there a chance that she can like come like back from this or whatever? And she'd be like, no, like they put her in hospice. So fast forward to May, like my mom had called and was like, she not doing too good. Like at this point, I don't believe she was even up. Like she was just almost like she was asleep the whole entire time. And like like even knowing this, I still didn't come home. And I think it's because like I don't deal with death too well. And then it's the fact that it was her. Like I didn't. I feel like if I didn't see it, I wouldn't believe that it was her. So that it was happening to her. So I remember my mom calling me a couple days before she was about to pass or whatever, and she was like, the doctor was like saying it's not looking too good, that she's just gonna go home and stuff like that. So fast forward to um, May 23rd, I was out in North Carolina visiting my in-laws, and I was like still talking to my mom, and she was like, they're saying she only has 24 hours to live and stuff like that. So like I was like really in my feelings and sad and down and depressed or whatever, because it was like I was like in North Carolina celebrating my husband's family and being with their grandma and being with their family. They're all happy, and my family was like back at home sad, like getting ready to bury the most important person in our lives. So I remember talking to my cousin Dominique. I had called my cousin Dominique, and my aunt had answered, and she was just like it's it's like basically like the end or whatever. And me and one of my other cousins are the only ones that don't live home. So like I think my older cousin had talked to her first, and then my aunt was just like, I'm gonna put the phone to her ear, but try not to cry and stuff, cause like she can still hear or whatever. So like when they put the phone onto her, I was just telling her how like she was my savior. Like she did so much for me growing up. Like she stepped in when my mom couldn't do it, and like I couldn't have asked for a better grandma. Like she was my everything. She always motivated me. She always tried to push me to be a lawyer or a model because she was like, "You are so pretty, like, and you love to argue. Like you need to either go to law school or you need to be a model or whatever." And so I was just like telling her like, "Thank you for all those times." And like I know she's suffering. I know she's hurting and she wants to go, but like we wasn't ready for it because everyone knows like once you're like the grandma passed away, like your family falls apart. And it was already favoritism in our family, so it was just a lot. So then I remember just like trying to hold in the tears or whatever, and I just said like I love her and like I get it, like she can go or whatever, and we'll be fine without her. So then I had to get off the phone because I was about to start crying, and so I had told my cousin like whenever the time comes, like I wanted her to be the one to call to tell me, like I didn't want to hear my mom tell me that because it was my mom's mom. I didn't want to hear the pain in her voice. So then the next day, we were at my grandmother-in-law's house, and I was sitting in the car with my cousin-in-law and at the time our homegirl, and my mom called, and she was just like crying so hard, and like she couldn't even catch her breath, and I had already knew like what happened. So I just kind of like hung up on her or whatever, and I had went walking or whatever, trying to get myself together. Like I know this is not it. Like I know like my nana did not just die, and I wasn't there. And I know she probably wanted me there because everybody else was there and I wasn't there for my own selfish reasons. Like I did not want to see that. I wanted to remember her how I remembered her. But I knew I should have been there because she probably wanted me there. But I didn't. I wasn't. But um, so like after I got the phone call, I called my cousin Dominique. Hey girl, I had called her, and I was like, dude, did she die? And she was just like, yeah. And like I just heard the pain in her voice because she raised her as well. So I just like went in the house and told my husband like, it's time for us to go. Like I can't be here celebrating your family while my family is hurting. Like I can't. Like I need to make it back to Omaha so I could be there for them, especially like my mom and my aunts because they just lost their mom. So we ended up saying goodbye, and like the whole family was like hugging me and telling me like they sorry for my loss. So then we came back to Georgia, and probably like a couple days later, we drove down to Omaha to go to her funeral and wake and stuff like that. And I remember just like I couldn't even walk into the funeral home because I just did not want it to be real. Like I did not want to do it, but I did it. And like when I walked to her casket, I just like broke down. Like I grabbed my mom and I just started like crying and stuff. So then all that happened or whatever, and like really from that day forward, like I haven't been the same. Like I beat myself up about it all the time because it's like, whew, emotional walls. I do not want to be crying on camera. I don't want the world to see me cry, but it is what it is. But yeah, so like I regret not being there. Like I regret like not being around my family and being there and not like holding her hand while she transitioned. And I know that she knows that because like a lot of times I really pray to her like just come visit me to let me know that you're okay. And a couple of times she has, and like one time she had came to me in my dream and she was like a little upset and she was just like she was trying to pass over, but we keep calling for her or whatever. And she's like, we need to just like learn to deal with it at this point because she's ready to move on. And so that made me feel a little better. And then I recently had a dream about her and she was telling me how proud she is of all my accomplishments and that she knew that I would make it. And let me know that she was at peace and that she was just so, so proud of me. And in my dream, I was like holding on to her so tight, like asking her just to come back and let her know that I was sorry. okay, y'all, I'm back. I had to get it together. But I was letting her know that I was sorry that I wasn't there or whatever. And she would just tell me, like, she knew, like, even, like, I was there, even though I wasn't there physically. And that's why after she heard me on the phone, she was able to let go because I was the last person that she needed to hear from because I wasn't there. But, yeah, so I live with it every day, and I just tell myself, like, it's okay. She knew that if I could, I would have been there. And one of the reasons why I didn't want to be there, and I just try to stay strong and, like, just go off with all the memories I have with her. And that's about it. So, that is the biggest regret in my life. So sorry, you guys. I got like a little teary eyed, but like talking about my grandma is like a really sensitive subject because I never really took the time to heal from her passing. I just kept it pushing because life goes on. It's a part of circle. It's like circle of life. So yeah. But go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think about it and comment or let me know um, what stories you guys would like to hear next. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a good night.